Lately, it feels like every new iPhone comes with pain points, and let's be honest, most of the complaints are not random. It's because Android phones usually pack more specs for the same price or less. But here's the twist this year, the iPhone 17 feels different. Apple finally tackled some of those pain points and they tried to match the competition in raw hardware. The real question is, did they do enough this time? Stick around because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the iPhone 17, and at the end of the video, I will tell you if it's actually worth your money. While we're at this, guys, please like, share, and comment on this video. Share with your family and friends. This means a lot to me and it helps me make more of this kind of videos. I appreciate you for your time. Cheers. Back to the video. Let's start with the biggest complaint, the refresh rates. Once you've used an high-end refresh rate screen like the iPhone Pro series, you can't go back. It makes everything smoother, the scrolling, the animations, the whole vibe of the phone. But Apple was charging $800 for a base iPhone stuck at just 60 Hz. That felt ridiculous when you look at the likes of Samsung, likes of Oppo, Xiaomi. They all had high refresh rate screens in their base model. Even budget Android phones are pushing 90 Hz. Apple kept it as a pro-only feature and branded it ProMotion. Finally, with the iPhone 17, that changes everything. The base model now has a high refresh rate screen, and that complaint is finally gone forever. So the iPhone 17 can definitely stand side by side with the big boys in terms of screen animations, in terms of the fluidity, which will be noticed if you're coming from iPhone 16 or less. The next problem is the camera gap. We all know that non-pro iPhones get watered down cameras, but the competition is putting telephoto lenses in their base flagship, and that makes a big difference. S25, the Pixel 10, and many other phones in this price range have dedicated telephoto lenses. Apple is still holding back this year, but at least they've moved forward with some other camera advancements. The rear wide camera and the rear ultra wide cameras are now 48 megapixel. The front camera also jumps from 12 megapixel to 18 megapixel, and Apple brought in a unique innovation with a square shaped lens, so you can take vertical or horizontal shots with this lens. Apple calls it center stage. It's a neat idea, especially if you take a lot of group shot selfies. I mean, who doesn't these days? With this, you can take shots with the iPhone still in the vertical mode, and it's just easier for you to hold the phone and get those cool shots. So big ups to Apple for that innovation. I don't think anyone is doing it in the market. Now, about the telephoto that I was referring to earlier, the iPhone 17 still uses 2x digital zoom. Apple says it's optical quality. Competitor is already rocking 3x optical telephoto for this price range. But what do you think? Should Apple finally give us a dedicated telephoto on an $800 iPhone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them. I think that they should. It's about time, but that'll probably come in the next iteration. Apple launched the iPhone 17 series phone without mentioning the word AI at all. Where's Apple Intelligence, Apple? Obviously, no new features were added for this phone as regards Apple Intelligence. Apple is already behind in the AI race, and this takes them one step further behind. On the better side, they launched this phone with a new iOS 26, which is a total redesign of the interface. The interface is called the liquid glass design. This is a welcoming refresh for the iPhone, but all other phones from the iPhone 11 till iPhone 17 are also getting this new OS upgrade. So it's not much of a change. I don't think it's worthwhile for you to change because of iOS 26 that was released anyway. All right. Finally, some good news. The charging and the battery life of the iPhone 17 is on paper a bump up. The iPhone 17 bumps charging speed by a considerable amount, up to 40 watts fast charging. About time, Apple. So you can now eat 50% in just 20 minutes of charging, and the battery life is a big jump according to Apple. On paper, it's only about 4% bump in size, but Apple is claiming the A19 chip is so efficient that it makes a real difference. Apple mentioned that you can get up to 9 hours of extra video playback time. That's a massive upgrade, but of course, not everyone plays video all the time on their phone. The way you use your apps and every other thing would still come into play. Proper battery life test is what you can use to determine. So, who should buy this phone? I think if you are on the iPhone 15 or older, the iPhone 17 finally feels like a proper upgrade. Apple closed a lot of gaps, and many of the things that people have complained about, you are going to feel that difference. If you're already on an iPhone 16, the improvements are nice, but maybe not enough to justify an upgrade. The changes are subtle, except for the high refresh rate screen. That is very obvious. You're not going to feel a lot of difference in the camera department for the iPhone 17.